Hey, what's going on out there, YouTube? This is SEL0320. We're back again for another review, but this time around, I'm actually got Joe here for a Gotham TV review. I'm excited! Woo! Yeah. Welcome, Joe. First time you actually doing one of the reviews here.
Yeah, thank you. Glad to be on the show.
Would you like to introduce yourself?
I feel like you guys already know me. If you don't, my name is Joe Johnson. Where'd you go?
I left. You can do it on your own. I'm just playing, y'all.
Yeah, my name's Joe Johnson. You know, Charlottean native.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, currently in the VA area. For guys, if you guys were curious, that's where, you know, you can find me.
Yeah.
Not Gotham City, of course.
Anyway, moving on. So the name of this episode is actually Harvey Dent. We technically missed the first 10 minutes of the episode because of technical difficulties with my Xbox and Comcast. But anyway, where we started off at, we were introduced with Harvey Dent as a character. He seemed just like kind of like Aaron Eckhart in The Dark Knight. The way he presented himself, he seemed like he had really good ethics and really good morals as far as what to do and trying to stop corruption. He seemed like he was on the side of Gordon in this one. And I mean, one of the things I liked about this episode is that it showed how other characters interact or intersect. Because you had, the first time ever, Bruce interacting with Selena Kyle. You had a new character in Harvey Dent interacting with the incorruptible Jim Gordon. And then at the same time, now you've got Penguin finally finding Fish's weapon. And so the way that this one, I think I really kind of like this episode because everybody crossed paths with each other. People you wouldn't think they would cross paths, but you knew eventually it was going to happen. It's kind of all built up to this moment with this episode. What did you think about this episode, Joe?
Like, what? That's a broad question.
As far as the aspect of the episode that you enjoyed, or like, what was the key points of the episode that you kind of like geared toward?
The anticipation build up is going to be pretty amazing because you're going to see. It's interesting because you know what's coming. Everything's gonna hit the fan, you know, but you don't know when, and don't know exactly how it's gonna develop.
Yeah,
that's probably the biggest aspect, you know, because you definitely have that dynamic with Penguin and Fish, you know, and you're looking, and actually Fish is at this point making moves like actively against Falcone. So yeah, it's like we're hitting that climax where it's like, all right, it's a few episodes where it's just all gonna go down. And Gotham City is gonna be winner take all. Yeah. So I think that dynamic's my favorite aspect of the show at this point. Also, yeah, Selena Kyle, you know what I'm saying? And Bruce having a little, you know, puppy love.
Well, it wasn't even necessarily
dynamic.
In this episode, you realize we've seen throughout the first episode that she was there during the murder. Right. And with her being there at the murder, she's been following Bruce around. She's gone and snuck into the mansion before. She's gone and seen Gordon going back and forth. Everything that she's been doing really has been trying to help Bruce, whether you know it or not. But it's like, it's thrown in your face in this episode because she gets to see how messed up but amazing at the same time this kid is, because they go and they interact and she's like, what are you doing? He's like underwater trying to test his stability of how long he can stay underwater. She's like, you're the weirdest kid I've ever met, but like you got some stuff in you, you know. But I think one of the things that she had said at one point, she was like, what you don't understand is that you still have a purity about you, and because you have a purity about you, you will not be able to sustain yourself in Gotham
on the streets.
And we all know that one of the things that Batman develops is a level of presence there that's so fearful that you like, yeah, I don't want to be around this guy. I have no idea. You can't anticipate what he might do. And so I think that that's kind of foreshadowing. Every person that Bruce has interacted with, it's all been kind of like foreshadowing of what he's going to become. And even like it showed like Alfred kind of boxing with him and getting him attuned to stuff. But for him to be the Bruce Wayne that we know, it still has to be a portion of his humanity left. And when he was interacting with Selena Kyle in this episode, you saw certain sides where he was laughing and trying to be normal, but you know he can never be normal. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna go read a synopsis about the episode too, because I want to go into the Harvey Dent episode about this. Trying to close the Wayne murder case, a young Harvey Dent and Gordon team up, much to the mayor James' jargon. Meanwhile, Penguin makes contact with Mooney's secret weapon, Liza. So two of those storylines are crazy. But I wanted to talk about Harvey, because when we were looking at Harvey, he was trying to bring down somebody like a crime boss, just kind of like in the movie. And he's really young. He's not even like the assistant DA or anything like that right now. But you get to see all the good sides of him, you know. But he had made a statement randomly where a guy kind of threatened him. And this is what his response was. He said, "Do not threaten me. I will rip you open." And he said it in such a way that it was like, it was so twisted. You know what I'm saying? But there was a, remember when we looked at a scene where it was kind of like he had the projector going on, and you saw like part of his face kind of light and the other part was dark? I mean, he's even got a two-sided coin already, and you know eventually that other side of that coin is going to get scratched out, you know? And so it's just really good fortune. Now, what did you think about his acting though? As far as, I mean, every other actor's been in this, it's kind of like surprised us. I have my thoughts about his acting in this one, but what did you think about him?
So, as far as like Harvey Dent's character, I mean, one thing that separated him from, you know, because when his character's introduced, you know, immediately you think of the Harvey Dent from The Dark Knight, and how those two compare. You know what I'm saying? But one thing I enjoyed about his character was, you know, I was kind of skeptical about his performance. So I was like, you know, compared to the previous Harvey Dent in the actual movie, you know, I was like, I don't know about this guy. But then again, at the same time, when, like the line that you mentioned that he said in the interrogation, man, you see like this dude has a different dynamic with the way he plays his role, because this specific character, you see he has literally two faces. Like he literally has two personalities. Like he is super nice. Like initially, like you see him, he's super nice, always smiling. But then when he's like in that interrogation room, like you see him, he just hit a switch, and he's like, you know, this rabid, you know what I'm saying, vicious guy. Yeah. And that I thought was very interesting with the performance and with the character. I mean,
I agree.
It's like he just hit a switch and became a totally different person.
You get to see a little bit of his psychosis in the sense that he might be borderline on schizophrenic, or he might go back and forth between being bipolar potentially. I don't see it as bipolar, because sometimes people that are bipolar, you can tell when it's going to happen. With him, it's just a switch off. Like he's something totally different. And we only saw like a small glimpse of it. You don't see a lot of it, but you see enough to know that there's something off. And when you see something like that, you're like, okay, this person might need to get checked out. What's his backstory? Like, what has he really gone through? Why is he like this, you know? Because people don't, it's always an origin point. It's not just people just sit there and something wrong with them immediately. It's something that triggered that. And if you go into the actual comic books, you know a little bit about, I'm not going to reveal it, but I'm interested to see what Gotham does with his backstory. It's going to be really interesting. But then, I mean, you got a whole nother side. This is one thing about this show that's amazing. You got 4 different storylines going on. You got the main storyline, then you got Gordon, whoever he's interacting with Bullock. Then you got Fish Mooney, and you got Penguin, and then you got Bruce, and then you got Alfred. This time around, they added more characters. I mean, you got somebody that came out of Blackgate Prison, that got broken out, and he's expert in bombs. He seems like he might be dealing with psychological issues, but not too much. He's got a moral compass, and they're trying to stop him from developing these bombs for his hurting people. And I'm not going to reveal the storyline with it, but one of the things I liked about his character, the character that was the guy creating the bombs, he had a genuineness about him. He did have like some screws loose to a degree, but it's really just because he's so smart. But at the end of the episode, you see the development of coming from Blackgate Prison to Arkham, and the way that all these villains are going to start being created. And I mean, I can already tell probably by like season 3 or even by the end of this season, you're going to see certain people going to be sit there. Because even Riddler, like, more people are starting to like Riddler in the episode, more so than they ever have. But you can tell that if anybody really turned on him, he'd flip. He's just so smart, you know? I mean, he's smarter than most of the villains they've come up with. He's been able to find every single issue or every single clue. And somebody like that, I mean, if you look at the show Sherlock, most of them say, well, he likes it. He likes finding out these clues because he's a psychopath. And what Sherlock always says, he's a sociopath, not a psychopath. Riddler doesn't necessarily say that. He just loves like finding out terrible things that are happening. And so it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that. But the next episode, y'all, that's where I can't wait, quite honestly. Like, I don't want to even reveal it.
It's going down.
But there was one thing at the end of this episode that really put us both in shock. Really not me so much as Joe, but it had to do with Barbara. Now, I said in the last video that I did not like the way that she did Gordon. You find out in the last episode that she left him, and he deals with that. He gives her a call back. You find out exactly what she did after she left, and it'll put some shocks. I mean, I know most of y'all probably looked at the episode tonight, but if you haven't looked at the episode, when you look at it, you'll be like, are you serious? Mm-hmm. Are you freaking serious? And I mean, it's like the show exemplifies sin. A city so corrupt that it's fallen victim to it, you know. And I mean, it couldn't be done any other way. If she had no dirt on her at all, then it wouldn't make sense, because she's from Gotham, you know. Even he's got dirt. He's from the military, and he's killed people, and he's got a messed up past. If she didn't have something going on, it wouldn't make sense. But the depths of this is that the closest person to him that he needs in his life is dealing with some serious secrets that, I mean, sin is gonna mess up. It messes up everything around you, you know. And she's doing some, she's doing some stuff. I'm not gonna reveal anything more than that. But what do you think about that whole dynamic of Gordon and Barbara?
I mean, you said it all, man. Like, it just raised some question marks and exclamation marks.
Yeah.
Like, in my head, like, just went up like flags, like, what?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it was yeah.
I
don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, I really don't want to talk about it either. And I mean, again, Robin Lord Taylor as Penguin, he just keeps on excelling on every single level. Every single episode, he steps it up a notch. So does Jada. But it's like they butt heads so much that it's going on now that you're figuring out that Penguin, he's got agenda over agendas. And there's never a point that he's in over his head. Even when you think he's in over his head, he's not. And he's one of the most dangerous people in this show.
He's definitely like a, man, he's like a mastermind. He's orchestrating this spider web of love, just like plots and...
It's beautiful television.
Yeah.
It's beautiful television. But anyway, that concludes our review. I give this review, or this episode, I give it an 8.5. What about you?
Yeah, I give it 8.5 too.
Okay. We are going to be playing Grand Theft Auto tomorrow. So, if you want to check us out on Twitch, go to twitch.tv/super SEL0320, or go to, what is your Twitch?
I don't have Twitch.
Okay, well, just go to mine, and we'll both be playing Grand Theft Auto. If not, we're going to be playing Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, because Master Chief Collection is not going to be working until Wednesday when they do an update, which pisses me off. But anyway, I'm going to definitely be doing some Twitch tonight, so y'all definitely check me out tonight. Maybe Joe might get on some Destiny. Who knows? But definitely, we want y'all to be more interacting with us.
I'll let your boy.
So yeah, I'm gonna leave that in the link below, and hopefully y'all enjoyed our review of this. I'm glad Joe was able to finally catch up with Gotham so we can start doing reviews together with it. Hopefully have a little bit better lighting. I'm sorry if we don't. But hopefully you enjoyed our review. Please leave your comments below and leave a like if you like this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Like, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You know,
Master Chief Collection
really
is still
likable.
working
Really
with some
likable.
booty.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, y'all. Gotham, woo!